Welcome to the next project. This is episode 7 of my Harley Benton T-Style mod kit, T-Style kit mod project, Acoustasonic inspired mod project for my kit. What? You know what I'm talking about, I hope. Somebody should know what I'm talking about. In this episode, we're going to move through quite a few things and get this kit finally back underway and one step away from being done, I think. In this episode, we're going to actually have an acoustic guitar, playable guitar. The electronics are not in yet, but it is acoustic. There's big holes in the back, big hole in the front. The bridge is on, it's strung up, it's playable. So, let's start the next project. All of the parts for the onboard preamp have finally arrived. Well, they arrived a couple months ago, but I was moving at the time. So now I've actually got pieces and parts to look at and figure out how much room I need inside the body to put everything. I feel a little bit like a cannibal. I just keep cutting away on this body. There's really not much left of the original kit. With a pretty good idea of all the components that need to go inside the body now. We have the original Telecaster bridge pickup. We have either a saddle or a wafer style piezo pickup that will need to go in. Onboard preamp and also a 9-volt battery. I'm making a larger back plate to fit the big hole that I just cut in the back, and using my original small kind of square back plate as part of a template to get the pickup positioned again. And now just trying to double check to make sure I have room for everything, and also realize this might not even be the onboard preamp that I use. I used shellac to seal the body, so I needed a top coat that would be compatible with shellac. Urethane really is not a candidate, so I needed to go with something like Tru-Oil. And I don't typically use Tru-Oil for body finishes, but this is a special case. I cut the Tru-Oil with some naphtha and applied a number of coats, thin coats. They all flowed out really well, and so far I'm pretty happy with the outcome. But we'll see how I feel in the morning. Instantly had a gnat land in the finish right after I hung it up to dry. Can't win. I'm using a blackening protective coating on the metal neck plate. I've done this before, a GGBO 2020 guitar, I think you did this process too. I've done it on some other metal parts that are non-guitar related. And what this does, it's kind of like gun bluing, but it's not gun bluing, it's blackening. It's a chemical reaction that's used to protect the metal, keeps it from oxidizing and rusting and things. And there are different finish coats you can use. This kit comes with kind of an oily coat. This is what I'm putting it in right now. But there are others. There's a water-based lacquer that can be used in some various other things. But for this, I use what came in the kit. It works pretty well. When I did the original work on the neck, replaced the fingerboard and put in new frets, I didn't do any finish work on the frets at that time. The neck was very straight and crowned nicely. Pressed in the frets, it all looked good. I checked it and make sure the fingerboard was level. Checked the frets, used a fret rocker on it. That's another story. Used my custom level, which is a sanding beam, or a sanding beam that's a level. Anyway. Taped everything off, knocked the top down, recrowned everything, polished everything up. I use a Dremel style tool with a little buffing wheel and some mag polish, and I get really nice shiny frets. Slick and ready to go. Some final assembly on the neck. I'm really not going to do anything else to it other than bolt it to the body after this and start stringing it up. I'll have to make a new nut for it probably, unless I can find the one that came with the guitar. I'm not sure where that's at, but it's just about ready to go right on the body. Very little work was needed to give this a decent shine. The Tru-Oil looked pretty good. It had, I don't want to say brush strokes in it because it wasn't brushed on, but there's enough wood grain in the top spruce panel that it really looks like brush strokes. So I hit it lightly with some 2000 grit paper, take any dust or gnats or whatever might have been in out. Use some automotive polish on it, and just worked really lightly because this is a very thin finish, pretty low speed on the buffer, and it shined up really well. Again, I don't know that this is a finish I would use in the future, but it's a good experiment. It prepares me for a day when I may need to do this for some other reason, so a lot to learn. This is a big moment that we've all been waiting for at least 6 months. At least I've been waiting for 6 months. My life got in the way and derailed all progress on this and another project, and here I am finally getting around to gluing the bridge to the body. I did not use hide glue. I don't have any hide glue on hand. I used Titebond, and remember, this is a cheap guitar kit and it is what it is. Used a center line and squared the bridge to the center line, and used this affordable little Amazon bridge clamp to basically squeeze the bridge right to the body as it's glued up, and you can see the glue squeezing out underneath there. This cheap Amazon bridge clamp worked really well. I'm really quite surprised. I'll use it again whenever I get around to making another guitar that has this kind of bridge. At this point, since I don't have the electronics ready to go in, assembly's really almost too easy. What do I have to put? 4 screws in the back of the neck. I put the strap buttons on just so I felt like I was doing something, and then strung it up. I did put the brass plate on the back side of the bridge. It's a plate that I'll use for grounding the electronics to, or grounding the strings to the electronics. and that all went really well. So, give it a quick tune up here and give everybody a chance to get their earplugs, and we'll see what it sounds like.